One. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to this week's episode of the GA Scumbags. You got me, Noah, and the prodigal son, Tyler, or as he's now referring to himself as Murphy over Loftus, is finally joining us again after being out for a couple weeks. He was battling a nasty case of gout, but we're glad to have him back with us. So we didn't get to do a pod last week, just didn't align with our schedules, with Thanksgiving and being out of town and whatnot. So apologize for that, but we're back this week. As far as our Virginia Tech game, real quick, not gonna go too far into it. Glad to get the win. I'll let you guys get your thoughts real fast.
Yeah, it was a good time. Always nice beating a school that's just like the NC State of Virginia. All talk, nothing to show for it.
Nobody does
There
less
was
with
a,
more.
there was a family in front of us that let us know how fucking awful we were a few times, and one chick asked us where our Duke degree was.
But do you
Good
remember
vibes.
the lady? The old lady started that because we were just messing around. I don't remember what we said. We like made fun
I
of the,
made some stupid jeer about like a turkey or
and
something.
she was like, "That's the best y'all got." And,
And
like
that was, she cracked the code right there.
she was
Floodgates were
asking
open at
for
that
it.
point. Well, I remember at one point, I think Noah was yelling about Beamer wearing diapers or something.
Yeah, it's like
And
Beamer's old ass is in a diaper crying right now, and that one chick took like it was her own dad. She was like, oh.
yeah, then the dad of the family turns around and like looks at us and goes, "Who's your head coach again?" Like trying to make a jeer at like Manny. And I
Yeah,
said,
because
"He's beating
Brent.
your ass right now," because we were up 14 nothing at that point. So I was like, "He's beating y'all right now." And then the son, this kid who's like 18, 19 years old, turns around and goes, "You didn't even go to Duke. You're just a fan." And I said, like, like who gives an F, dude? Like it's a college sports game. Like it's not that deep. And then the dad starts going, "Sit down, sit down, sit down." And like I was up, I was like, "Or what? Or what?" And then he just stopped. But yeah, tensions were pretty high between us and
It
that
was
that
it was
It
one
was
of the
family.
better like it was one of those fan altercations where we were in the lead from the beginning to the end. Like they never like that group of people never got up on us.
No.
Like they kept trying to, but like the ammo they were giving us was just hurting them more than it was hurting us.
Yeah.
Like it was a good time. I mean, I enjoyed it.
and then by the
You
second,
know,
they just had to sit there and like take all of it.
they
We
were
were
eating it
Yeah,
so
they were
hard.
silent. They were silent the rest of the game. They had
they
nothing to
they
say.
walked the long way out of the stadium just so they didn't have to walk by us.
Yeah, that was
Correct.
so elite. And
But
the
me
daughter
and
was sitting there walking like this. I was like, "You ugly chick!" Like, yeah, she was the ugliest bitch too. That was just. It looked like every girl that's from the state of Virginia.
We're right
me
on
and
the edge of the bleachers, and they walked the whole length of the
up the
section
section the other
just to
way, yeah.
not go by us on the
Well, me
way.
and Noah followed them down singing na 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 hey, 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 goodbye. So
Giving them fucking hell.
yeah, they definitely
Oh man,
were silent on the car ride home. Anyway, that's that for the Virginia Tech game. As far as the Wake Forest game goes, I mean,
Jesus
God,
Christ.
God. I mean, I was like, the first half was just absolute dog ass, as Noah would say, dog ass. I mean, I was sitting up in the stands with our buddies Garrett, Jarrett, and their parents, and we were just like, is Duke just like on autopilot right now? Like whatever, like we're just looking forward to the bowl game. Like we don't give a shit today. And then classic Duke under Manny Diaz fashion, they found a way to come back in the second half. I'll get your thoughts on the game. Noah, you want to go first?
Yeah, so I had the pleasure of watching this game up in the good old grand state of New York over the holidays. Wasn't able to be there.
glad you made it back.
Um,
Yeah, I hope you had your
yeah,
bulletproof vest on.
yeah. Well, I was in upstate for like 5 out of the 6 days, so
Well,
trust me,
still.
super safe. You guys wouldn't know about that kind of life,
It's a
but
great family up there.
yeah, that's a place you take the kids to on vacation up to Lake George. Let them run free, no vest, nothing like that. But anyways, from my perspective, just what came out Wake Forest flat, as I like to call it. It's hard to get amped up and play a noon game at Wake, regardless of if you're undefeated or 0-12. it was just classic old Duke football at the end of the year. Things are going well. We almost made them not go well. We about bought ourselves a one-way ticket to the Sun Bowl with no chance of seeing a different outcome. So glad they overcame that adversity. Clock management was a worry of mine at the end of the game. We really fucked that up. We got super lucky. We don't have to worry about it because we got lucky, but in the future that could really burn us. That's something to keep your eyes on for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was vintage in the season Duke football after a win like Virginia Tech. If you've been around a while, like you're upset, but you're not shocked that that happened. But years past, we would have 100% lost the game.
Yeah. Even under
That
Elko.
that's worth like we wouldn't have won that game in years past. Like that was it started off feeling like the Virginia game last year that it was going to head in that direction.
I was there for that. That talk about a just game.
What a nightmare
Just nothing
Saturday
was
that
happening. And
was.
you know it's funny that you say that, Tyler, because I remember sitting in the stands at halftime talking to Garrett and his dad and be like, this reminds me of the UVA game last year, just nothing good happening. But even in that game, we scored 20 points. What is happening?
Yeah, like it was. I don't know. We got out of it with a win. We got to 9 wins on the year, so I can't complain too much.
Yeah, and that's the thing, final score 23-17. We've all seen that highlight, the insane play from Malik to Jordan Moore for the touchdown to win it at the last second buzzer beater. I believe, from my understanding, the play was drawn up with Jordan like a 5 yard out almost, which
Yeah,
classic Jonathan Brewer, like last play of the game, you get your best receiver in a 5 yard
check
out,
down.
like why not check down? But then it was busted coverage. So Jordan, being the dog that he is, took off down the field, and well, the rest is history. So, just getting into stats just very briefly, for the Wake Forest game, Malik was 26 of 34. Not bad at all. Honestly, that's actually a really solid completion rating for 235 yards, one TD, one pick. Star Thomas, 14
Yeah, but he
carries,
can't
six.
run.
Yeah, he came. Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of
but he
which,
can't run.
oh my God, dude, that rushing touchdown he had,
That
I
didn't
was,
happen.
I couldn't believe it.
That was Grayson Loftus.
Facebook fans saw a different number on the field when that play happened.
Right. Oh, and that's what somebody said. After that touchdown pass on the last play of the game, Garrett made a joke like, "Yeah, but Grayson Loftus would have run the ball all the way himself for the touchdown."
Yeah,
That's so funny.
Oh my God. But
put the
yeah,
team on the
so
back of the guy.
yeah, he put the whole team on his back physically. He would have carried everyone down to the end zone.
That's just what guys like him do, you
Yeah,
know.
first guy in, last guy out, scrappy,
Just
athletic.
hardest worker you'll ever meet.
Yeah, quicker than fast.
Pride of
Uh,
locked Twitter account.
Star Thomas, I mean, our run game was yet again pretty meh. I mean, Star Thomas 14 carries for 66 yards, averaged 4.7 yards a carry, so I can't get that mad with a
Peyton
TD.
Jones esque.
Yeah, it sounds like he's almost as good as Peyton Jones. Jaquez Moore, it was really good to see Quez back, honestly. Like he was somebody I was really looking forward to going into this season, and I was bummed when he went out, but it was good to see Quez back, to some extent.
Wes, if you're gonna delete them Instagram pictures, just make the call, dude.
Yeah, just either shit or get off the pot, pal. Like either leave or stay, you know what I'm saying? But like don't leave us hanging, man. Quez, we want you. We need you. But like
Jason,
we don't really need you, but like we need you. Um
Jason with a phone
Quez
call.
went for 9 carries for 41 yards, 4.6. Uh Loft Here's what I don't get. Grayson Loftus has his red shirt now, which means that he's safe to play in the remaining games that we have, and they put him in for legitimately one play against Wake,
And
and he
it
had,
went for like -3 yards.
yeah, one rush, -1 yard. You're not gonna let him put the ball in the air or like run to the outside, like anything at all. What's the point in even putting him in if you're just gonna have him run it once for a -1 yard? What are y'all thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm glad Quez was back. Um, it's good to see. Hopefully, he stays now.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't get the Loftus thing, like you said. Um, and it just didn't make sense. And then like that killed that drive because we were driving, and then after that we just stalled out and we either settled for a field goal or we punted or something. But like we were in Wake territory,
Well,
we
we were in
lost
the
like
red zone,
four.
so it was probably a field goal.
Yeah, and then we just lost like 4 yards.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. It's like, dude, if you're just gonna have him run it up the gut, at least put Henry Beelan in to do that because
Right.
Henry's got some wheels on him.
Like I didn't comprehend it at all. But again, like I said, I'm trying not to be too critical because a win's a win,
Yeah.
and the defense did what they've been doing all year,
Well,
and
yeah, and speaking of
they
the
bailed our asses
defense,
out again.
just real quick, touching on some of the defensive stats, Ozzie Nicholas, number 45 from Princeton, doing Ozzie Nicholas things. 10 tackles, 5 solo. Cam Bergeron, 9 tackles, 5 solo. Alex Howard, 8 tackles, 6 solo. Terry Moore, 8 tackles. Trey Freeman, he's made it off the milk carton because Trey Freeman had 6 total tackles with 2 solo. Um, Wesley Williams with a sack. Aaron Hall with half a sack. I mean, 5 sacks total all day. I mean, our dudes were eating back there. 5 sacks, that's nothing to sneeze at for sure.
Yeah, that's just I mean that's what we've done all year. It's just we show up, make just create havoc all over the place on defense, and then wait for the offense to turn the ball over and do it again.
Yeah. Well, and one thing before we move on really quick, going back to the Virginia Tech game, something significant happened that day, actually. Our very own Malik Murphy broke the single season touchdown record by a Duke quarterback that has been held since Anthony Dilweg since I believe 1988.
Yeah,
So,
but he doesn't run the ball, Eli.
yeah, exactly. What good are
He
records if
can't
he
he
doesn't run
can't
the
run.
ball? What's funny is I replied to somebody in a Facebook group recently who was on that same bullshit about Malik not running, and I was like, yeah, for sure. Just out of curiosity, how many passing yards does Star Thomas have? And he never responded. So anyway, as it stands right now, Malik is at 2,933 passing yards, 26 TDs. The record was 24. 12 interceptions, and his QBR is 56.4, which is 72nd overall. You know, solid. I'll take it. I mean, he's been slinging it all year. I just hope he doesn't transfer.
Not
Noah, your thoughts?
transferring.
Well, here's the thing I
Not
want to point out when
transferring.
people talk about Malik still that they need to realize he hasn't played that many like he's got this full season under his belt. He played what, Noah, 3 games last year? Kansas State,
Two
Houston, and
two
BYU,
games.
2 games. He played two last year. He didn't play a game in redshirt the year before that. He didn't play his senior year of high school because he was injured. So, like in the last 4 years of football, he's only played 14 games total.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like,
Don't
and we,
forget COVID the year before.
yeah, and like we've all said, like he's a gunslinger. Gunslingers are what he is. He's going to make some really bad throws, but then he's going to throw the ball 75 yards downfield. Something.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I forget what he was like in college, but like, look at Jameis Winston. Like, he'll throw 5 TDs, he'll throw a bunch of picks, but, he's gonna make some insane throws. Obviously, I think Malik has more potential than Jameis Winston, but anyway, just as a comparison. Uh, Real quick before we move on to bowl season stuff, we're gonna do our real quick "That's So Duke" segment of the week. Uh, as far as Virginia Tech goes, pretty obvious what this one is. Tyler, what's your "That's So Duke" moment from the Virginia Tech game?
Well, Star Thomas had just ripped off a huge run while we were winning, and
Trying to milk the clock in the fourth quarter.
trying to milk the clock. Then we go to hand it off to Star Thomas again, clean handoff, and there was I'm trying to think what a minute left somewhere
Yeah,
around
not
there.
much.
There was around a minute left, and the ball just pops out. And we got lucky because the ball was rolling. Like, had a Virginia Tech player scooped it, they were scoring. And thankfully, they just fell on the ball. And then the defense had to come back out and yet again, like, save the day and bail us out for the 18th time this year.
Yep.
So, trying to run out the clock. Could have just the one time we don't kneel the ball down, we fumble it. Go figure.
Remind me, was that the drive when Trey Freeman had that clutch stop to like end the drive, or was that a different
Yeah.
drive? Dude,
Yeah,
Trey Freeman has 6 solo tackles this year, or like 6 like decent like
Each
Trey,
one of them's a game-winning play,
yeah,
pretty
Trey
much.
Freeman has been,
He holds down for the big moments.
in the background
Yeah.
for most of this year, but he shows up when it matters the most, and it's amazing. I can't believe it.
When less than 60 seconds are on the clock, Trey Freeman is a Heisman caliber player.
Right
Yeah,
where we want him.
2 minute merchant. Anyway, yeah. So the That's So Duke moment from Virginia Tech unanimously is the Star Thomas fumble when we're trying to milk the clock and retain the lead. As far as Wake Forest game, Noah, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so oh boy, did we luck out and catch that pass for a touchdown because any sane team, if they know they're throwing a pass there, they're gonna make sure there's at least 2 seconds left on the clock, or at least a second if you're gonna cut it that close. That way you can kick a game-winning field goal and not go to overtime and lose. And Duke said, "Fuck it, nah, we're just gonna throw this bitch up all zeros." We lucked out. The Dukest thing in the world, though, would have been to not catch that ball, go to overtime, lose the game because of poor clock management. Because we only ran one play in 27 running seconds prior to the last play of the game
With 2 timeouts.
with two timeouts in the bag.
I think the most Duke thing ever about that play was that the design play was Jordan Moore was doing like a 5 yard out or
5 yard
something,
out.
and then he noticed that it was like busted coverage, so Jordan Moore being Jordan Moore took off down the field and was wide open, and Malik being the only Duke quarterback that we've had in the last decade who could make that deep throw and hit him in the hands and not overthrow him or underthrow him, got the ball to him, and we got that touchdown, and it just, I mean, I the the vibes in the stands were just so elite when that happened. And we walked down the steps onto the concourse, and I couldn't believe it. But Duke fans that weren't named Eli started to chant, "Let's go, Duke! Let's go, Duke!" on the concourse at Wake Forest Stadium.
Well, they
I
were
was
getting
like,
ready for the basketball game tonight.
yeah, they were just preparing for the basketball game in Ann Arbor tonight.
They were all getting ready to go to
God
camp.
damn it.
They
They
were
were
ready to head back to their cars and
camp at
camp out at
Temple.
Kville.
Yeah, the tens and tens of us at
Dude, we
BB&T.
should camp out for a Duke football game next year for
Dude,
no
I'm so
reason.
there. I'm so there. I'm
Like
so
already
there.
have our tickets, like on the, and just still camp out for a
Yep,
game.
tents
Yeah,
in like the B
Elon,
lock
I'm
or
there.
something.
Dude, I'll do it. Let's do it. We'll have a scumbags camp out.
Let us have a lock in, Duke. Let us have a lock in. We
Yeah.
just want to sleep in B3 and tent with the
Or
homies hanging out.
or Blue Devil
Have
Tower if you're feeling generous.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it'd probably be pretty hot. So yeah, a little AC wouldn't hurt. I'm not too good for that, city boy.
Well, there we go. Those are our That's So Duke moments of the last 2 weeks. I believe we're diving into bowl projections. What's next? Tyler, you take the
Yeah,
lead
right.
on this one, or Noah.
We'll do
Yeah,
both.
so we getting into our bowl season projections. Last week of the season before we know conference championship week. Fuck the ACC. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way.
Yeah,
Miami, you guys fucking suck.
Jim Phillips
Um,
made the call. You could
you
say,
guys, I mean, like they literally all you had to do was win, get in, and you and SMU go to the playoff for
and
sure.
they were up 21 points.
And Duke is the second tier bowl game, which is Gator Pop Tart, depending on who takes the invite. Everything that could have went wrong for Duke went wrong. Syracuse got their ninth win, makes Syracuse look more impressive. State gets to bowl eligibility. That just sucks regardless.
Louisville boat race
Uh,
Kentucky.
Yeah, Louisville murders Kentucky by 40 something. Just solidifies their 8-4.
Yeah, I
Um,
was pretty bummed about State getting bowl eligibility. That pissed me off so much. I'm
Georgia
not
Tech.
saying
just
I'm not saying I
Georgia Tech
was rooting
damn
for
near beat
Carolina.
Georgia.
I'm not saying I was
yeah,
rooting for Carolina, but I was pissed that State got bowl eligibility for sure.
Yeah,
GT taking Georgia to 8 overtimes strengthens their bowl schedule resume. Kind of sucks. Right now, you could say Duke is in anything from the tier that is pinstripe and mayo all the way to the Sun Bowl to the Gator Bowl. I don't
Getting
see
ready to
us in
let
the Pop Tart anymore.
getting ready to
I
let a
think
first
Pop Tart.
responder, baby.
Yeah, Pop Tart's kind of out the window now, because Miami probably won't make the playoff.
It
Um,
was in our grasp.
We're
it
going
was,
defensively.
yeah, but that means if Clemson beats SMU, Clemson gets in auto. The committee's already said that nobody that loses in a conference championship game is going to get jumped by somebody that doesn't play. So there's no way SMU is going to get jumped by four teams. Now, Arizona State can win and get in. That means three teams would have to jump SMU. It's not a possibility. So SMU is still pretty much a lock. Unless they go back on their word, which we all know.
Unless Clemson beats them by like 50.
Yeah, Clemson would have to boat race them. So if it's 28-21, we're good.
Yeah.
Then Duke's your second tier bowl game, third tier bowl game, like third team to get chosen out of the ACC. Great. We'll see. I'm not super confident that SMU can hang with Clemson, and I feel like SMU that might be the best team they're playing all year in Clemson because I think
How
Clemson's better than BYU.
how Duke would it be? Because Duke fans, you need Clemson to win this game. Like we need Clemson to win this game by like 7 to 14 points. So how Duke would it be for Clemson to win, but they win by I don't know, say like 25 points and knock SMU out of the playoff, where we still only get one team in the playoff.
Yeah. And one of the some of the projections we were going through earlier, of course, the newest one from our boy Brett McMurphy, GOAT. If
He's
you
really
if,
good with the projections too.
Brett's usually pretty spot on at the end of the year. It gets a lot more base to his claims, and it's pretty spot on. But they've got us in the Gator Bowl against the old Lane Train, Ole
Jesus,
Miss, the Running Rebs. Boys, how about a little party in Jacksonville?
Oh
A little
man.
SEC magic? A little
Uh,
tailgate with the Rebs?
you call it magic. I call it getting bent over and fucked.
I'd rather lose to Ole Miss than beat Tulane.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'd rather lose to Ole Miss than beat. I mean, honestly, Troy. I mean, that was just a depressing bowl situation.
And honestly, like playing big teams and bowl games, just because they missed the playoff, half their team opts out anyway, and they usually lose, like
Yeah.
Florida State. So Duke could
Hey,
go in there and
hey,
just get a program
hey,
win.
hey.
It don't
Money
matter
still
how
get.
you get it. It don't matter
Hey,
how you get it.
hey. The money still spends the same, brother. That's about all I
Yeah,
gotta say
yeah,
about it.
that chalk's still chalk. You know what I mean? There
Yeah.
ain't no difference.
Well, if I look up on the Action website, another projection, I don't know if it's from Brett or somebody else, but it has us against USC, the real USC from Southern California, the
amen,
Trojans,
amen.
in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl on New Year's Eve in El Paso,
Shit,
Texas. Boys, pack your bags. We're going to Texas.
I do
fuck.
not want to step back in
New
that
Year's
town.
Eve in El
You know what
Paso.
I mean? Like, I don't want to go back, bro. And the fact that it's on the 31st and not the
Oh my
3rd, which
God.
forces your hand that you have to spend New Year's in El Paso,
Hey,
is just miserable.
hey. It'd be a change of scenery. I take it. My
It's
main gripe with that is like obviously I want the best bowl game that we can get, but I don't want El Paso solely for the reason that it's expensive as fuck to
The
fly there.
cartel. Oh,
for no reason. Like it's not a
Yeah, for
destination. It
no
shouldn't
reason.
be.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, hey, let's airlines. Let's have a talk about why El
just,
Paso's so expensive.
just keep Krim out of there, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, keep Krim Roy out of El Paso. And
Yeah,
that's what I want to know is like, dude, why are you telling me it's cheaper to fly to Miami, which fucking rocks, than it is to fly to El Paso? I don't
Well,
get
you can fly damn near anywhere, probably except LA,
but
cheaper
but
than El Paso on
well,
2 days before New Year's Eve.
El Paso is a very dangerous flight to take, Eli.
Yeah, gotta wear your bulletproof vest on that one.
Yeah,
that.
Might have a layover in Dallas.
ooh,
Yeah, flights are currently like $550 to El
That's
Paso.
so.
2 days before the game. Pass.
how come?
Another projection that came out today, from Athlon, had us in the Pinstripe Bowl versus Nebraska.
Oh,
247 has us in the Mayo against Minnesota. Ugh.
ugh.
I don't really care to play Minnesota. You know what I mean? That's not going to move any mountains for
Can
me
we get a team with
mentally.
a shit defense?
Yeah, honestly, I'm tired of having to play people who's like holding to like 17 points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my stance is again, my stance is I want Duke to get the best bowl game possible, but if the best bowl game possible is out of reach, give me one that I can afford to go to or is close by or both.
Myrtle Beach, baby.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach Bowl,
We're
baby.
We're
Uh, We're
going to
we're
Ripley's.
going to
going
Ripley's.
to they get ready to learn Krabby Mike's unlimited seafood buffet.
But dude, I mean, Pinstripe would be I wouldn't
Pinstripe's fine.
I wouldn't cry over Pinstripe. It's cool.
It's not a
It's
long
it's
drive.
got an identity. Worst comes to worst, I can fly there because flights
You got five airports you can fly
they're
into.
not nearly
The,
as bad
the
as El
problem with the
Paso.
pinstripe is I don't mind
Yeah.
that. I just don't want to play Nebraska.
I don't want to play in the cold either, man. I'm tired of the cold. I want to get to
The bright side for
Florida
the
after being
Pinstripe Bowl
freezing all the time.
is that there's a lot of Duke alums up east, up northeast, especially in New York. If you
It
watch
was
highlights,
crowded the first time.
yeah, if you watch the highlights from the Pinstripe Bowl in 2015 when Duke played, I mean, it sounds like a Duke home game. Like there's so many people there.
We had a unit out
Well,
there.
hold
There's no
on.
doubt about that.
Let's
The
get some. You said it sounds like a Duke home game. No, it was loud there, Eli.
Yeah, you're right. What am I saying?
So let's
It was
hold on.
actually better. A Duke
Yeah.
football game at Yankee Stadium had better pool than a game at Wallace Wade.
Did
I
you
mean,
guys see?
it was the only time in history ever, except this past weekend, where like Duke fans kind of dominated the turnout. Because the Duke turnout at Wake Forest this past weekend was actually really good.
You
I was
guys should have
surprised by that.
seen Shreveport. There was like 19 Duke fans and then like six Temple fans. That place was
Yeah.
jumping. They made the world record largest breaking like jambalaya batch. Like straight up. It's still in the records to this day. And they made it for like 239 people, you know what I mean? As opposed for like it would have fed probably 10,000. There was like 200 people there.
Jesus with the fish and the loaves type story, except there's 20 people.
Yeah, except he only needed to feed a family of four.
So all right, show
Speaking of
off.
Wallace Wade, though, how about the fact that what was the stat?
It's like
Uh,
15-3 over the past couple seasons.
16
yeah,
of 30, yeah.
like that's ridiculous. Like I don't know if you guys
Stadium pulse.
like Danny Cannell tweeted out the other day after the playoff committee stuff came out. He was like, "Stick all the SEC teams in Wallace Wade Stadium, and then we'll see how good they are."
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like
talking
it was
about.
going to be like a big national like media personality was recognizing Wallace Wade.
Dude, Duke's figured it out. We don't need a big crowd. We dumb them down with silence. They don't know how to act. You know what I
Silent,
mean? They're like,
deaf,
is this a
silent.
football game?
Exactly. Like you get used to playing in front of like these big ass loud crowds, like communication stuff, and then you get into Wallace Wade, and you're like,
It just psychs you out. You're like, you can hear the seven people yelling. Like, you can
yeah.
individually pick out who's yelling and what seats they're in as a
The
player.
guys
You're
on
like,
Duke's
yep,
bench recognize each voice in the stands, like, shut up, Eli, I know where you are.
Eli, Jesus Christ, man, give it a break.
Don't
Uh,
piss me off.
yeah, don't piss
Don't
me off.
piss me off.
No, I
At Duke
mean,
Admin, will you please stop?
no, I mean, really, like the past, in all seriousness, the past couple of years in Wallace Wade have been like awesome. I mean,
Yeah, we've
those
been
three
seeing
losses
some
have been
wins, that's for
fucking
sure.
daggers. Those three losses have been
We've
brutal.
just gotten shot so many times. The
Dude, the
UNC game,
UNC
Notre
lost in
Dame game,
22, Notre Dame, and then
SMU this year.
SMU
SMU.
consecutive
Ugh,
years.
God, that's so
I,
gross.
we were saying this earlier. The vibes were so high the day of the SMU game. It was like an 8 o'clock kick. I got out there at like noon. The weather was gorgeous. We
Me and
were
Noah got there at like
drinking.
11 o'clock and wanted to
I was
shoot
about to
up.
say, even we got there early that day.
Yeah, we were all drinking, like having fun, talking to the parents, talking to like
Yeah,
families and
fighting the
whatnot.
band.
Yeah, Noah got in a fight with a band. We were yelling at the SMU
An
tailgate.
entire band,
We had the best Blue Devil walk ever. Like I got to meet David Cutcliffe. Like the vibes were so high.
and then you
Noah
ruined.
pulled out the third down shoe and then
The third down shoe. God, how legendary.
may it live on in infamy. And then tell us what happened, Tyler. Why did we lose that game?
Well, we lost the game because you ruined Todd Plino before the game,
Hey,
and the Blue Devil walk.
hey, if you allow me to get in your head of the Blue Devil walk and I'm on your side,
But
you ain't
we
cut out for
also lost
this.
the game because we
I'm
scored a
not playing on Sundays.
the touchdown to take the lead. And while we're lining up for the extra point, I look at Noah and go, "We're gonna miss this kick."
Yeah, I've never heard somebody call a missed extra point before
And
in like
Brutal.
any
takes
sport,
the
like
extra.
ever. And Tyler calls the only one.
Hey, say it with me. Hashtag that's
That's so
so
That's so
Duke.
Duke.
Duke. Oh, here's another that's so Duke. I'm just let's keep this up. The two AP voters. Stupid, what's her name?
Kate
Stupid
something.
Kate Rogerson from WRAL and then Lou Dumbass from WBATV. Oh my God. So Duke's 2 votes shy of getting in the AP poll. You know what I mean? They're not far off.
And it's like, who are those two votes?
And Duke has 2 people who technically represent them that vote in the AP poll. UNC's AP voter voted for Duke. Texas has voted for Duke. Virginia Tech, NC State's voted for Duke. Alabama's voted for Duke. Ohio State's voted for Duke. But guess who didn't vote for their own fucking team? Fuck you, Kate Rogerson. Fuck you, you piece of shit. You too, Lou. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm tired of the
WRL
disrespect.
fucking
We've
fraud.
we've lived this fucking life too long. WRL stands for what I think Diego said the funniest thing I've ever read in my life. He said WRL stands for like what retards are like. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the God's honest truth. The worst news source I've ever seen in my life. What retards are like. That is exactly every employee that works for WRL. Absolute scumbags. Absolute scum.
I've always been more of an ABC 11 guy myself.
You get it. You get it. Better parade coverage, better weather reports, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Plus, you can walk by on my Fayetteville Street, like look in while they're filming the live news things. You don't get that with WRL, baby.
Just have your bulletproof vest on because you're on Fayetteville Street.
The safest street in every big city in America. Yeah, keep your bulletproof vest on.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. We don't play those kind of games.
Woo! All right, we're on a heater, boys. What do we got next on the agenda?
Uh,
Um,
do we want to do
yeah, the
the quick rundown, like the all teams or whatever, who made what, like
Yeah,
all conference?
fine, sure, yeah, okay.
I would fuck me, I guess.
No, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I guess it's fuck me.
So a few Blue Devils earned the all conference team spots. No one made, or Chandler Rivers made first team uh at cornerback. Shocker. Other than that, nobody else made first team, which isn't surprising. Now, what is surprising is on the all second team, Brian Parker, Caleb Krings, Kendi Charles, and Terry Moore. You know, no one shit on
Kenny
Caleb.
Charles,
No,
dog.
no one shits on Caleb Krings as much as I have all year. The pride of the Elon Phoenix.
Caleb Craig's biggest
Yeah, like you look
hater.
and now here I am recognizing him for me. And here's the problem because now we're gonna get more Elon kids. We're gonna be like, oh, this
Death taxes, and we're getting a kid from Lafayette, and we're getting a kid from Elon.
yeah, like damn it, we don't need kids from Elon.
It's the way, Tyler. We've cracked the code to the new age of college
This
football. We're
this
playing money
little
ball.
this little
Them scrappy old Blue Devils.
scrappy Duke baby,
The
little old
the
Duke.
little old money ball Blue Devils.
But like, oh my god, like Kendi Charles and Terry Moore have had big years. Um,
Yeah, Terry Moore's a fucking baller.
I can't wait for her because he's got a year left, right? Like I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
him and Deshaun Stone next year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my
nut.
god.
Nut. Because Deshaun's been an animal too. He's just young. He's getting better every week. Made some great
So
plays.
then we get to all third team. We've got Jordan Moore and Eli Pincole. Both had 700 yards, and I think both around the 40, 50 receiving yard or 40 to 50 receptions. They both had like 7 to 8 touchdowns. Joe Mo probably would have been higher, but he missed a few games. He was hurt all year. Eli Pincole, he finally had the year that he was meant to have because he got
Yes,
to
he
play.
did.
And then Ozzie Nicholas, our
From
boy.
Quentin Harris to Malik Murphy.
Oh
Nobody
my
grinded harder.
God. Dude's been here for 12 Duke quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Dude, I had
Gunnar
to play with
Holmberg,
fucking Chase Bryce and Gunnar Holmberg back to back.
Oh
I would kill myself.
God.
like,
He was faking injuries all along just to get out of it.
and like Jomo did what he was going to do. Ozzie Nicholas had a hell of a year for us,
Should have been first team.
like a hell of a year. Then
Dog.
the honorable mention we have Wesley Williams, stud, Aaron Hall somehow, Jalen Stinson, Cade Reynoldsson. This says return man Keyshawn Brown, which I'm gonna hold on. He was easily our third best wide receiver this year. So
Yeah, 100%.
all right, let's
Wait,
all right,
over
Call,
Samir?
call it a flex. Call it a flex.
yeah.
Flex position.
Over Samir?
Um,
Samir only had like 3 legacy games.
yeah.
Only.
So Samir still gives me trust issues. That's the thing.
Yeah, there's PTSD there.
And then Alex Howard and Trey Freeman made honorable mention. Um,
They just letting
Curtis
Alex
any
Cooper robbed. Curtis Cooper robbed.
they just
Alex
letting anybody in these days.
Alex Howard as an honorable mention kind of shocks me because I feel like he definitely should have been second or third team.
I remember when the club used to be hard to get into.
Yeah.
Now there's not even a cover anymore.
Cade Reynolds
Brutal.
snubbed. He should have been first team.
Cade Reynolds should have been no team. Absolute choke job the second half of the year. Hope you hear
Yeah,
this, Cade.
living
Nobody
off the
fell off.
yeah, living off the Elon on Northwestern legacy games.
Nobody fell off harder in the Aussie.
Hey, I will say he did pick it up the last couple games. It's like he started out hot and then slumped and then like found his way back up at the end. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, that's positive signs for the future. After we just lost our third string punter to the transfer portal, Duke's going 0-12 next year.
Yeah, well, we also had 6 punters on senior night graduating.
6?
It
We
was
had
like
so
4.
many.
It was like we had like
But
4 that
like
walked
none
on
of them
senior
had
night.
ever taken a snap. Like I'm pretty sure they were just like fake. I'm pretty sure they were just like fake bodies that they like asked
Yeah,
students to fill in.
they're just like making up names at this point.
Yeah, they were Clayton Burton. They were Steve Bussy.
See,
See, Bussy.
gonna miss him so much. He is
Yeah, like what are we gonna
possibly gonna be
do?
playing on Sundays.
What are we what in Canada? What are we gonna do without C Bussy next year?
Dude, we
Dude,
gotta find a
I hope
different
he
player
does
to
more cologne commercials.
yeah, we gotta find a different player to make our golden child next year.
It's gotta be a Kivier Muse for sure.
Keep it plus.
It's
Yes.
it's gonna be Noah's boy. All
Oh
oh
Jesus. Oh, I'm not worshiping Kevin O'Connor, bro.
yeah.
Hey, it's Kevin O'Connor, whether you like it or not.
No, it's not. It'll never be.
I'm gonna post a TikTok of Kevin O'Connor for the bowl game. Is like this is a preview of next season.
Okay, if it's the preview of next season, we're going back to Birmingham. So
It'll be C Coop.
C Coop, Curtis
See
Cooper's
Coop.
biggest fan.
Long snap highlights.
Long snapper, you baby.
We
Long
are.
snapper. Dude, Duke was long snapper U like 2000 to 2012.
It was
Dude,
incredible.
Thomas Hennessy's still on the grind, still a New York Jet for like the
Oh,
11th year now.
Thomas Hennessy.
We are.
Long Snapper University.
All right. So what do we want to do next? We want to do
I
the
think we
signing
mailbag
day
it.
or mailbag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the mailbag pulled up if y'all want to hear it.
Yeah,
All
we'll do
right.
that, and then we can hit like signing day and quick rundown through the.
I have to go after mailbag so you guys can wrap up signing day.
All right.
All right, here we go. Our buddy Bentley Weeks at Bentley Weeks on Twitter.
Bentley.
At Bentley
Be drippy.
Drip
Be
King.
drippy.
He asks, "What is y'all's realistic dream bowl scenario? Give me the Gator Bowl against that bum in College Station." I'll go first. Realistically, like no fantasy, no bullshit, no whatever. I mean, yeah, probably the Gator Bowl. I mean, regardless of who is against, yeah, I mean, the Gator Bowl would probably be the best possible bowl that we could possibly get at this moment in time. The Chick-fil-A Bowl years ago was sick. We're not in a position to win that again right now.
We're not going to
But
talk about what happened in the bowl game itself, but
yeah, I mean, just being in the position to be
Being
in it
there,
was awesome.
super cool.
Being there rocked.
Good enough for old Duke, you know?
Yeah, just showing up was
crappy
good
old
enough.
Duke.
Scrappy old
Dude,
Duke.
I've got friends who were at that Chick-fil-A Bowl in 2013. They're like, that first half was the best
It was
half
the
of Duke football
greatest.
ever played.
Oh
It'll
my God,
never
yeah.
be better than that. It was the peak. It was the mecca. Texas A&M fans were like, Duke's a wagon. Like they were thinking like Duke was like a national championship caliber team that just got unlucky. You know what I mean? And then we
They
played the
were,
second half.
they were. I mean, like our buddy Garrett said, there's no greater football program than Duke in the first quarter. Nobody keeps it closer than Duke in the first quarter. Uh, to shorten it down, yeah, probably the Gator Bowl. Noah, you go next.
Yeah, mine would be Gator or Pop Tart with a matchup against Ole Miss or LSU.
Yeah,
Tyler?
I'll keep my Noah will appreciate this one. I'm gonna be a little biased here just because it's basketball season. I'd like to get Charlotte and I'd like to play Iowa. Um, that would be a disgustingly awful football game, and I'd be all for it.
That's so
Like
gross.
Duke, could you imagine a Duke Iowa football game with how our defenses are?
-2 to -3
Jake,
final score.
Frank Beamer meme 0-0.
Oh God, like those 1930s football games. The final score is like 7-3. Like somebody
Oh
fakes a
brother, no one's
touchdown.
scoring a touchdown that game. No one's getting in
Six
the
to
end
three,
zone.
6-3, or 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2, 5-3 or something.
All right. Our buddy Matthew Lofton, 15, in Diaz, I trust. About the season, is there any more underrated play of the season than the slide down by Star Thomas, I think, at the game against UConn? Smart play to just secure the win. Don't tack on any style points, just win. And to have the mental awareness to do that in the moment is phenomenal. Uh, I believe that was Star Thomas, right? Like he was running down the field
Yeah,
Oh
against
yeah, it
UConn and
cost us a lot of money.
yeah, it did.
just
So
went
no,
down.
fuck that.
Yeah, that's the worst play of the year actually for
Yeah,
me.
Well, look, those of us who aren't degenerates and don't bet on sports, yes,
Those of
that
us that are
was
lame and losers,
yes,
aka
those of us that
Eli.
don't bet money on sports, yes, that
I
was
I had to go home and kick my dog after that game because I was going to eat bread for the next 3 months.
hit to go Michael Vick mode. Yeah, no, I mean that was definitely a high IQ play for sure. I don't know if it was like the greatest play of the season, but yeah, definitely a high IQ play for sure.
Dumbass play. Star,
Uh,
Star Thomas hates Vegas.
From our buddies at Roll Coverage Pod, they ask, as we look to the end of the season, what's the expectations going into next year at our major positions? Are there any positions where we feel ultra confident going to next season? Meaning, like, what positions are we the most confident in going to next season? I mean, probably cornerback. I mean, Chandler Rivers has made it sound like he's in it for the long haul and he wants to stay at Duke next year. But on top of that, I mean, I really like we don't know what could happen. Like literally anything could happen in the next like 6 months in the
Um,
portal. Anybody could announce they're transferring.
Cornerback will be one. Defensive line is going to be like
Yeah,
phenomenal next
dude,
year.
raw. They're gonna be
Bryce,
so nasty.
we're gonna have Bryce, um, Kara. Both of them are 4-star defensive edges coming in.
Oh,
Wesley Williams is back.
oh,
VJ's probably back.
VJ's
Uh,
back. Hell yeah.
Preston, well, if he wants to come back, he's got another
Prez
year.
Watson.
Yeah, Preston Watson's coming back. I don't know what the interior is going to look like, but the outside of it, like our edges, is going to like we're going to be able to go 4 deep right there with ease.
Is
I
Aaron
think the
Hall a
best.
senior?
Yeah, he's done. He's a ninth year senior. That boy older than hell. I saw him play when we had a track around the field. But no, I think the safety group with Terry Moore and Deshaun Stone is just too loaded to not bring up for next year. And then quarterback, I think will be
And
great.
depending on what happens with running back, we'll have Nate Shepard,
Yeah, running back could be fine too. Yeah.
Peyton Jones, Nate Shepard, Marquise Collins, and Quez. If all 4 of them stay, like that's a damn good like four
What a
deep right
stable.
there.
What a stable. And yeah, I mean next year, like if Malik stays, which hopefully he does. If Malik stays next year with the progression that he's had this season, on top of Dan Mahan being his backup next season, whew, whew, but dude, we would talk about how Manny Diaz is,
We're so playoff.
yeah, Manny Diaz is trying to make Grayson Loftus some kind of Brandon Connect. character just isn't working out. Dude, I promise you, let Malik Murphy get us down to the red zone and then put Dan in for the red zone shit and let him run the ball and run a bunch of options and veers. I promise you, that will be an elite duo, like the true
Well, because
revival.
all we have to do is we're losing the offensive lineman.
Yeah,
We'll be
there's that.
fine. Everybody
We,
loses offensive
we
lineman every
that's what I'm
year.
saying. If we can hit one or two linemen in the portal,
Yep.
find one or two linebackers because we've got Gompers. We'll have Nick Morris back, but we're losing Ozzy, Alex.
We'll also have what's his
I
name,
don't.
Derek Brown Jr.
Yeah, I don't know if Trey's coming back or not. I'll wait and see on that one.
Okay, Trey's not
Uh,
going anywhere. If he doesn't go to the NFL, which he's not, then he'll be back at Duke. Trust.
I, I'm
Yeah, I
I'm
think Trey will be back.
I'm in wait and see territory with everybody when it comes to portaling nowadays.
Yeah, you just never know.
Because even like Quez entered the portal last year.
Did he really?
Like
I forgot about
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
yeah.
he entered and
Quez,
then pulled his name.
two of them entered the portal and pulled out last year. Quez and Stinson, wasn't it?
No, Stinson didn't go in, I don't think. Yeah, he did. You're right.
Yeah, Quez and Stinson were both in the portal and like withdrew their names last year.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. Like, guy, if a Duke player enters the portal, guys, it's not the end of the world. They'll come back possibly.
They'll
But yeah,
Yeah,
like
after their only offers Troy or UAB.
I think defensive line, running back, secondary, those are going to be the three spots next year. Well, and quarterback where we thrive.
And then following up on that, we have it's not really a question, it's more of a statement from the Duke of Q Pie.
QP.
I guess whatever. We're his second favorite Duke football podcast, but he says, I have a question. Fuck the CFP and fuck them for not ranking Duke and using that as some criteria against Miami and Alabama. I guess it was not a question after all. My response to that is ditto. You guys want to add anything?
Yeah, we got a lot to add to that one. I think.
Yeah, I just man Duke 9-3 with losses to two top 12 teams, and one team that took Georgia to eight overtimes. Is
Brutal.
also 8-4, like good football team. Georgia Tech lost them on the road. But losses only matter if you're in the top 15 because they say now good losses are just as important as a good win now. If you got a bad loss, oh no. But if you got good losses like Alabama and all these SEC teams, you're fine. But it doesn't matter when you're Duke because then Memphis, Illinois, Army, Syracuse, and all these other frauds get ranked when we obviously deserve it more than any of them do. Rank Duke at 21, like that's where they deserve to be.
Yeah, well, just looking at some of the teams ranked above Duke. All right, let's go look at Missouri. Missouri's ranked 19th right now. When you look at Missouri's schedule this year, their best win is currently, you could make an argument, maybe Auburn, Oklahoma, Mississippi State, Arkansas. Like they
Those
haven't
are
beat
the
a so
sorriest teams.
they haven't beat a ranked team all year. Alabama beat them 34-0. Texas A&M beat them 41-10, and they're ranked 19th.
Yeah,
All
boys
right,
are
you
Brutal.
ass.
UNLV, I can see an argument for them being ranked. They've played good all year. They beat Kansas. They beat Syracuse. They've got some good wins. They played Boise State close. Illinois hasn't beat anybody all year. Army started out really strong, and then Army got the brakes beat off of them. What the fuck is Memphis doing ranked? Memphis' best win is before they beat Tulane this weekend at Florida State.
And they lost to UTSA and Navy, who both kind of suck. Navy was undefeated for a little bit, but they just didn't play nobody. And now that they started playing, people are getting waxed.
Like, look at my big Missouri being at 19th is criminal, and Duke can't get ranked. When
It's
Missouri
like
beat Buffalo, Boston College, Vanderbilt, UMass,
You
Auburn,
and UMass took them deep too.
Mississippi State, and Arkansas. Like that is a yeah. The fact that that schedule gets you ranked 19th when you've got multiple 20-point losses is ridiculous.
yeah, that's I mean that's just classic anti-ACC bias. Our last question of the night comes from our buddy Timothy Gonzalez at Timothy 0 eight
What
seven
a banger.
three one one two zero. He says, "Do y'all have a favorite Jordan Moore moment play from the last four seasons at Duke?" He has two questions, but to answer the first one, I mean that catch against Miami was pretty sick. I mean, it didn't really have any impact on the outcome of the game, but that was a sick catch. I'll let y'all answer.
Yeah, mine's the Miami catch too.
This one's gonna be a deep cut, but it's the touchdown to take the lead against Notre Dame last year.
Oh,
Oh my God. Deep
oh,
cut.
The touchdown to take the
oh.
lead last year, like that was just like the peak of Duke football. It's got to be like for me, it's got to be that play. I know we still lost the game, but like that singular moment where like he's just wide ass open and just takes the
Hold
lead.
up. Say it with me real quick. Only at Duke could losing be the most pivotal moment for the program because that's so
So
Duke.
Duke,
Dear God in heaven, I told myself I'd never. God
it just means more.
It
damn it,
just
Tyler.
no, it means the least.
Oh, dear God in heaven. Oh, that was.
It might mean less in the ACC, but it means the least at Duke. I
I
promise you
mean,
that much.
I mean, we were right there,
That was the highest of the high.
right there. Like Duke football, hate to say it, probably never gonna reach that peak again. I mean, fucking college game day was on campus.
Next year we got in the bag. We're ripping 12-0 next year. Sorry
Well,
ass
we'll see.
schedule.
We'll
We're
Yeah,
dog
I
see.
mean
walking
like
them.
our
This is the
schedule is
change.
our schedule is improved next year, but it's not like
Our non-conference improved, but it's still winnable.
which is going to help us because we can lose.
It'll get us ranked quicker.
Yeah, we can
Oh
lose a game and
God.
not feel like the world's ending.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
we could have a good win. You know what I mean, and a good
Yeah,
loss.
hey, we can get good losses because apparently losses to the number what does that mean? Unite? Yeah, apparently losing to the number 8 and 12 teams in the country isn't good enough losses.
No,
Not
it's
good
not.
enough. Not 1 and 2. But
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, Eli are going to be taking the rest. Eli and Tyler are going to be taking the rest of this one away. And old Noah's got to go for the evening.
All right,
But
I
Bye,
think we
Noah.
can. I think we can wrap it up right there because we kind of the mailbag. We hit the playoff rankings. We kind of jumped on the recruiting class.
Yeah, and I don't feel comfortable talking to Tyler in a one-on-one setting, so yeah, we should
Yeah,
probably just wrap it up
Eli
right here.
Eli scares me.
Well,
oh my
ladies
god,
and gents,
He
thanks for
yells he
watching this
yells
week's
slurs
episode.
at me. Oh Jesus!
What happened?
Noah just
Oh,
dipped.
all right. Well, Tyler, is there anything else you want to add?
Uh, be looking out for next week. I don't know when we're gonna put it out, but we've talked about doing. We'll kind of like recap the whole season next week, and like when we get figure out where we're going for our bowl game and stuff. Uh, I mean, y'all been doing a great job of carrying my back because I haven't been here for anything. So
Yes, we have.
y'all are doing a great job. I'll let you wrap it up.
All right, gang. Thanks for tuning in. If you made it this far into the episode, thanks for sticking with us. Please drop a like, drop a comment, drop a 5-star, 4-star rating. Hell, even drop a 1-star rating on Spotify. We don't give
Yeah,
a
drop
shit.
drop us a fuck you for all we care.
Yeah, tell us to go fuck ourselves and tell us that Section 17 or Jordan Man or Bull City coordinators are better than us. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Just rating is a rating. But yeah, it's good to have Tyler back. Good to be back in the saddle. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what bowl game we'll get this Sunday. We'll bring you guys an episode next week. Thanks for tuning in.